I now call the regular city council meeting to order at 9:10. If you can please rise.
Oh. The color guard's going to lead us
Okay.
in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Go ahead. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk, if you can please call the roll.
Mayor Lopez,
Present.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Merlo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra. Hello, here. You have a quorum.
City Clerk, do we have any changes to the agenda?
There are none.
May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move Ibarra.
I'll second Merlo.
Motion by Councilmember Ibarra, seconded by Councilmember Merlo to approve the agenda. Mayor Lopez.
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Merlo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We will now take public comments from members of the audience. If you would like to provide public comment, please come to the podium or click the raise hand button on Zoom. Do we have any public comments on Zoom?
No, there's no public comment.
Seeing that there are none, we will now go on to presentations. Agenda item number 1 is the swearing in ceremony for Police Sergeant.
Good morning, Honorable Mayor, members of City Council, staff, family, and friends. When a member of the police department is promoted, the City Council hosts a public swearing-in ceremony, in part to introduce the newly promoted member of the department to our community in front of their family, friends, and coworkers. Due to the resignation of a police sergeant, a supervisory level position was vacated within the department. Leaving this important position vacant would negatively impact patrol deployments and would increase overtime costs to cover the staff shortages. To fill this vacancy, the police department utilized a current eligibility list, and based on a review of the qualifications of each eligible candidate, it was determined that Officer Jose Ramos was the best qualified candidate for the police sergeant position. Now, before I bring up Jose, just a few things I'd like to share. Sergeant Ramos was born in the city of Los Angeles and raised in the city of Maywood. In 2001, Jose began his career with the Vernon Police Department as a jailer. In 2003, Jose wanted to challenge himself, decided he wanted to be a police officer, and graduated from the Golden West Police Academy. In 2006, Jose was selected as one of our field training officers, and later in his career completed 2 tours in the Detective Bureau. Just on a quick side note, Jose is one on a very short list of Vernon officers who can say they actually travel all the way to the state of Alabama to apprehend one of our felons. In 2020, Jose tested and was selected as a police corporal and served in that capacity until his recent promotion to sergeant. Jose also possesses an associate's degree in criminal justice. I now ask that Sergeant Ramos come forward to take the oath of office that will be administered this morning by our city clerk, Lisa Pope.
That side. If you could please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Jose Ramos,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United
to
States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'd like to call up Jose's family to participate in his badge pinning. Attending today's ceremony is Jose's wife, Jeanette, his daughters, Julissa and Juliana, his sisters, Sophia and Veronica, mother-in-law, Maria, and sister-in-law, Rosario. Jose's wife, Jeanette, will be pinning his badge this morning. That concludes our oath of office ceremony this morning. On behalf of myself and the men and women who make up the Vernon Police Department, I thank you for your attendance. Congratulations, Jose.
We will now go on to the consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar may be approved with one motion. I'm so sorry. We will now go on to agenda item number 2 is the city administrator report. City Administrator Frandino will present this report. Excuse me, Lily Hernandez will present the report.
Good morning, Mayor and members of the City Council. For today's City Administrator report, we will cover new business welcome events, business community events, Vernon development activity, tree canopy improvement efforts, partners in homeless outreach program and service announcements, and conclude with community events. Third slide. Yes. From October through the present, the city issued 6 certificates of occupancy to new businesses locating in Vernon. This slide represents a few of these new enterprises. Their operations range from warehousing, food processing to screen printing. We are excited that there continues to be an influx of new operations in the city. On November 9th, the city hosted a business breakfast, a meeting designed to bring Vernon businesses together and address questions and concerns with city staff. On November 17th, the Vernon Chamber of Commerce hosted its Corporate Citizen of the Year Awards. Council members and city staff joined the business community to celebrate the 2022 honorees. The city presented both Ron Gustafson and Sweetener Products Company with certificates of recognition for their respective achievements. The next slide goes over ongoing development in the city. Currently, there are 17 ongoing development projects. Of the 17, 2 are under construction and 5 are at different stages of demolition. The remaining projects are at various stages of submittal or plan check. We are excited to assist businesses in their pursuits to get operations up and running, and we are pleased to see brand new structures coming in that modernize Vernon. Next, we have our tree canopy improvement efforts. The fall planting season is in full swing. Our goal is to significantly increase the city's tree canopy, 1 tree at a time. On today's council meeting, we also have a proclamation for the city's Arbor Day and the Tree City application for 2022, so that the city can be named a Tree City again. Like many communities, we face challenges related to neglect, homelessness, and vandalism. To combat these issues, the city is engaged with projects to beautify public spaces by refreshing landscaping on street islands and planting trees, and is consistently working to clean areas that are targeted by vandals and persons experiencing homelessness. These efforts are a priority for us to ensure that Vernon remains a clean, safe, and welcoming place to live and work. On November 3rd, Public Works staff underwent training provided by the LA County Department of Mental Health. Training involved offering insight on resources available to persons experiencing homelessness, the physical, mental, and emotional support and treatment needed to move them from the streets and into housing. This is a vital component to addressing a variety of community issues encountered by the Public Works team. Next, we have program and service announcements, which include the city's partnership with the YMCA. The city's partnership with the Rio Vista YMCA in Maywood ensures that our Vernon residents have access to the Y's programs and facilities year-round. Family and individual annual memberships are available to all Vernon residents free of charge. Additionally, a variety of programming for all ages in youth recreational programs like the Dodgers Dream Team Baseball, swim lessons, LA Kings hockey, and LA Galaxy soccer are each available to children and adolescents residing in Vernon households. Our next program announcement is regarding the Vernon Community Fund Scholarship Program. The Vernon Community Fund grants scholarships to high school seniors living in the Vernon area who are planning to pursue trade school, community college, or university after graduation. For the new year, 2023, $40,000 has been dedicated to the program. Applications will be accessible online beginning January 3rd, 2023, and will be due by March 30th, 2023. Interested students can visit our website, vernoncommunityfund.org, for more information on the scholarship and grant program. Next, we have our community engagement. This is a photo from the Halloween Spooktacular event. This year's Halloween event was the most attended event ever, with over 400 community members present for that evening. And the following slides show a few more pictures from the night. More photos from the event. Our next event was our first fall harvest. At the city's fall harvest event on November 15th, the city distributed 1,000 turkeys and meal packages that included fixings for a Thanksgiving meal distributed to Vernon residents and its surrounding communities. Vernon's community partners helped us broaden our reach to Southeast area families in need, and we were pleased that we were able to offer such support. Here are some more photos from the turkey giveaway event. And a couple more. For our upcoming events, we have 2 more happening before we close out this year. First, we have our holiday tree lighting this Thursday, December 8th, beginning at 5 p.m. And then on December 14th at 6 p.m., we will host Vernon residents for our annual Operation Santa drive-through toy giveaway and light show. We look forward to celebrating the holiday season with the community. And that concludes the city administrator report for today.
Thank you. We will now go on to the consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar may be approved with one motion. Items may be removed from the consent calendar by any member of the council. Those items removed will be considered immediately after the consent calendar. Does council wish to pull any items from the consent calendar?
No.
Are there any public comments for the consent calendar?
No, there's no public comments.
Thank you. May I have a motion for consent calendar item numbers 3 through 14?
I'll move Ibarra.
Move William Davis.
Motion by Councilmember Ibarra, seconded by Councilmember Merlo to approve the consent calendar. I'll call the roll. Mayor Lopez.
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Merlo, Councilmember Ibarra.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We will now go on to new business. Agenda item number 15 is amendment number 1 to the solid waste non-exclusive franchise agreement. Health and Environmental Control Director Agent will present this item.
Good morning, Honorable Mayor and council members. The item before you is staff is recommending to introduce and conduct the first reading of ordinance number 1289 to grant amendment number 1 to the non-exclusive franchise agreement for commercial solid waste collection and direct staff to schedule second reading and adoption for the December 20th, 2022 City Council meeting. As a background, the state of California has found and declared that the amount of solid waste generated in California, coupled with diminishing disposal capacity and interest in minimizing potential environmental impact from landfilling, and the need to conserve natural resources, have created an urgent need for the state and local agencies to enact and implement aggressive integrated waste management programs. The short-lived climate polluting bill of 2016, also known as SB 1383, established regulatory requirements for jurisdiction, generators, haulers, solid waste facilities, and other entities to support the achievement of the statewide organic waste disposal reduction targets. In addition, SB 1383 required the city to implement collection programs, meet processing facility requirements, conduct contamination monitoring, provide education, maintain records, submit reports, monitor compliance, conduct enforcement, and fulfill other requirements. To ensure compliance with SB 1383 regulations, on February 1st, 2022, the city adopted ordinance number 1278, adding Municipal Code Chapter 8-8.14 to include SB 1383 requirements. In addition, the city manages solid waste collection services and delegates some of its responsibilities to solid waste haulers through non-exclusive franchise agreements. Effective January 1st, 2015, the city entered into non-exclusive franchise agreement for the following waste haulers, which expires December 31st, 2024. The 16 haulers are listed on the staff report. So therefore, the city must amend the current non-exclusive franchise agreement to incorporate SB 1383 requirements and ensure consistency with Municipal Code Chapter 8.14. The proposed amendment to the franchise agreement does several things. 1, it amends and adds new defined terms to the franchise agreement so that the language of the agreement is consistent with the SB 1383 regulations and Municipal Code Chapter 8.14. It adds language requiring all franchisees to offer 2 container collection services in accordance with Municipal Code chapter 1-14 to solid waste generators in the city. The proposed amendment also authorizes franchisees to, at the request of a solid waste generator, offer 3 container collection services in accordance with SB 1383 requirements. It also adds language regarding contamination monitoring as required by SB 1383 regulations and Municipal Code, Chapter 8.14. This also will add language regarding the delivery and replacement of containers used by solid waste generators, again, in accordance with 1383 and Municipal Code 8.14. Will also require franchises to provide the city with information concerning the solid waste handling rates charged to their customers. This will enable the city to provide helpful information to solid waste generators that contact the city regarding the process of signing up for solid waste handling services within the city. It also requires that franchises that operate a high diversion waste processing facility for the processing of mixed waste to provide information to the city regarding rates and fees charged for the processing of mixed waste by third parties. And finally, it adds language to address the obligations of the franchisee concerning education and outreach in accordance with SB 1383. The maintenance of records, inspections and enforcement in the solid waste generator waiver program. The proposed amendment to the franchise agreement requires that the franchisee take all reasonable steps to begin implementing organic waste collection and processing services during 2023, and that the services be available by or before January 1st, 2024. Franchisees unable to meet the deadlines set forth in the proposed amendment to the franchise agreement will be subject to code enforcement actions in accordance with Municipal Code Chapter 8.14. There is no fiscal impact associated with this ordinance. Franchises will continue to pay to the city a franchise fee equal to 10% of the franchisee's gross receipt as set forth in this agreement. This concludes my report, and staff will be available for any questions. Thank you.
Does council have any questions of staff? No. Are there any public comments for item number 15?
No, I don't see any hands raised.
Seeing that there are none.
Wait, actually,
Okay,
Pastor Brandy Terrell has a question.
okay.
If you're participating remotely via Zoom, please use the raise your hand button to indicate that you'd like to speak on this item regarding solid waste tolerance amendment. There's a raised hand, Alex.
Yes, I allowed him to speak.
All right, so, hey, sorry about that. This is Randy Terrell, calling as a representative of Athens Services. Just want to say that the Environmental Health Department, Freddie and Veronica, and all the rest over there, they're really moving in the right direction in terms of getting towards what is best for business, which is also the most advanced. And so just want to say that I support this. Good to see the mayor and council members there today. Thank you.
I actually just also another raised hand, Gary.
Okay,
Okay, Gary, you can speak.
City Council, my name is Gary Clifford. I'm the Executive Vice President of Athens Service, and I proudly represent the men and women that have served your city for over 25 years. I wanted to support staff. We've worked very closely with staff on this. We're one of the few landfill avoidance companies. We also own our own infrastructure, which we use our own facilities to take your waste for composting at 1383. I think one of the significant things your staff has done is they're including both 2-barrel and 3-barrel systems. We're one of the few companies that have a high diverting MRF, and we're able to handle the 2-barrel and the 3-barrel to accommodate your customers. We're very proud of that. I too am an elected official in my community, and I know how important it is to be able to have choices for our commercial customers as they try to comply with this unfunded mandate. So I just wanted to give props out to Freddie and Veronica, who actually took the time to come out to our facility, meet with me, tour our facility to see that we actually walk the walk and talk the talk. We're proud to have Randy Terrell also representing us. And we're very sensitive to your business partners and look forward to a long relationship with you and Athens Services. So thank you very much for the opportunity to talk to you today.
Thank you. Do we have any further comments on Zoom?
No more comments.
I just wanted to note, I believe there was one proposed edit that staff was going to recommend on page 18 of amendment number 1. I believe we were going to remove the specific processing fee and just leave it. So it would read, the franchisee may impose a contamination processing fee without specifying the $35. So that change would be made prior to bringing it back for second reading.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion for item number 15?
I'll move. Ibarra.
Is there a
Move.
second?
It looks like we have a motion and a second. If you could just give me one moment to check the webinar.
No.
Second by Davis.
It's from the past. Actually, you know what? I didn't, let me just check. Yeah, that's it.
So we have a motion by Councilmember Ibarra, seconded by Councilmember Davis, to introduce and conduct first reading of ordinance number 1289 to grant amendment number 1 to the non-exclusive franchise agreement for commercial solid waste collection, and direct staff to schedule second reading and adoption for the December 20th meeting. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Merlo, Councilmember Ibarra.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We will now go on to agenda item number 16. It's the adoption of California building codes by reference. Public Works Director Wall will present this item.
Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council, every 3 years, the California Building Codes Standards Commission updates building and construction codes for use throughout the state. In the past, the city has adopted amendments to these code updates. The city amendments were adopted to provide our businesses with a competitive advantage. Today, the state adopted codes are a comprehensive standard used by the design and construction community and relied upon by the insurance industry to minimize the loss of life and property while also minimizing construction and reconstruction cost. And the city's amendments to the codes no longer provide that competitive advantage. The Insurance Services Office, ISO, classifies fire departments and building departments. Insurance rates are determined in part by these ratings. Currently, Vernon's building department is rated Class 2, which is good since less than 2% of the building departments in the US are rated either Class 1 or Class 2. But we would really like to be a Class 1 building department in order to further minimize insurance costs as much as possible for our community. One of the areas where we can improve our rating is by adopting the state's new building codes without amendment. The ordinance before you changes Title 15 of the Vernon Municipal Code to adopt the state codes without amendment. In accordance with state government code, we ask that after today's first reading of the ordinance, the council directs staff to schedule a public hearing for the second reading and adoption of the ordinance. This concludes my report.
Thank you. Does council have any questions of staff for item number 16?
I do. How does that affect previous builds?
It doesn't. So
Okay.
previous builds were built under the code as it existed at that time. So this only applies to construction going forward.
Okay.
Does council have any other questions of staff? Seeing that there are none, are there any public comments?
No, there's no public comments.
Thank you. May I have a motion for item number 16?
I'll move. Ibarra. I'll second Merlo.
Motion by Councilmember Ibarra, seconded by Councilmember Merlot to find the action exempt under CEQA, conduct first reading and introduce ordinance number 1290, amending Title 15, Building and Construction to adopt the 2022 California Building Standards Code and 1997 Uniform Code for abatement of dangerous buildings for reference, and direct staff to schedule a public hearing on December 20th for the second reading and adoption of ordinance number 1290. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Merlot,
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We'll now go on to agenda item number 17 is the fund allocation eligibility and criteria for Vernon Community Fund grants. Lily Hernandez will present this item on behalf of City Administrator Fandino.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the City Council. The proposed ordinance number 1291 has several changes related to the Vernon Community Fund. The first deals with the grant application, the scholarship application. After utilizing the existing BCF scholarship application over the last 4 years, at its May 18th, 2022 meeting, the Vernon Community Fund Grant Committee recommended updates that will refine the application and facilitate staff's review process. 2 of these suggested revisions must be modified via the proposed ordinance. The first allows students who attend school in the Vernon area to apply. Currently, only residents of the Vernon area are able to apply. The proposed change would ensure that students who live or attend school in the Vernon area are eligible for the scholarship application. The second change is to remove the 12-month residency requirement. This would be irrelevant if we were allowed to allow students who attend school in the Vernon area to apply for a VCF scholarship. In addition to the modifications recommended by the grant committee, staff is also proposing further amendments that would allow donations or contributions to be received from citizens, businesses, community organizations, and others. This option to collect contributions from the Vernon business community would presumably enable the city to administer a more robust program that would have a greater and more enduring impact on Vernon area students seeking higher education. The city's finance department is prepared to receive such donations and has a mechanism in place to ensure that any VCF scholarship program contributions are earmarked for their specific purpose. In summary, the proposed amendments would allow the VCF scholarship program to reach a broader student base, increase funding for the VCF scholarship program, a valuable tool that empowers and enables students from underserved communities, provide the Vernon business community with an opportunity to support a scholarship program without the hassle of managing its administration, preserve the aspirations of the grant committee to expand the outreach of the Vernon Community Fund, and perform other non-substantive administrative updates. This concludes my report.
Thank you. Does council have any questions of staff?
I do. Can you clarify the donation part? So businesses on the outside are donating to this fund. So other than the 40,000 that we're allocating, any additional funds will be distributed as well, or how is that going to work?
That is correct. So currently, all allocations for the community fund grants and scholarship programs are solely based on the amount that's allocated by the city council through the annual budget process. With these amendments, that would open it up so that businesses and other private entities who wish to contribute to the scholarship program portion are able to do that. So any funds received would be made a part of the scholarship program and then be distributed to the students.
Okay. Do we have any other questions of staff?
No.
Are there any public comments or any on Zoom?
No, there's no question.
Thank you. May I have a motion for item number 17?
I'll move Ibarra.
I'll second Lopez.
Motion by Councilmember Ibarra, seconded by Mayor Lopez to introduce and conduct first reading of ordinance number 1291, amending Vernon Municipal Code sections 2.48090, 2.48100, 2.48110, and 2.48130 relating to the Vernon Community Fund, and direct staff to schedule second reading and adoption for December 20th. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
yes,
Councilmember Merlo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra. Motion carries.
We will now go on to agenda item number 18 is the city council appointments to outside agencies. City Clerk Pope will present the item.
Thank you, Mayor. The city is a member of the Greater Los Angeles County Vector Control District, and as such has the opportunity to appoint a voter registered in the city of Vernon to serve as a trustee. Currently, Mayor Leticia Lopez is the appointee, and her term ends January 2nd, 2023. So at this point, the council has the opportunity to select a voter registered in the city of Vernon and determine whether that person will serve a 2 or a 4-year term.
Am I able to serve again?
You are.
I'm okay with serving again for 2 years.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilmember Ibarra, seconded by Councilmember Merlo to select Leticia Lopez to serve a 2-year term. I'll call the roll. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
yes,
Councilmember Merlo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We will now go on to oral reports. City Administrator Fandino, do you have a report?
Yes, I do, Mayor. So today's holiday tree delivery will be at Vernon Elementary. It'll be around noon time, and we'll be offering a fresh new holiday tree over to the Vernon Elementary. We'll walk it over right after the council meeting concludes. This reminder, December 8th is a tree lighting ceremony here at City Hall between 5 and 7. We're excited that there will be snow this year. So if all guests are invited, and we're excited about our winter wonderland. December 10th is the Huntington Park Parade. We'll participate in the Huntington Park's annual holiday parade, and it begins at 6 p.m. and runs approximately 2.5 hours. December 14th will be the soccer ball giveaway at 10:30 a.m. and Vernon Police Department will make its annual visit to the elementary school to deliver soccer balls. December 14th will be Operation Santa. Between the toy giveaway and the light show, it's scheduled for 3 to 5 p.m. and the Vernon household residents will be invited to participate through the drive-through between 6 and 8 p.m. And then December 15th is the employee recognition and holiday celebration. It'll be at Commerce Casino on Thursday, December 15th, between 5 and 11. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any reports from council? Seeing that there are none, we will now go on to closed session for agenda item numbers 19 through 20. Thank you, everyone. We are back from closed session at 12:09. City Attorney Musa, do you have a report?
Councilman Nicholas has not shared items and no reportable action was taken.
With no further business, I adjourn the council meeting at 12:09.